Hello and welcome to African Farming. In studio with me, I have Praveen Dwarika from Lemang Agricultural Services, and we're going to be talking about offtake agreements. Praveen, welcome back.
Thanks very much, Tavi.
So Praveen, here is the first question. It might sound basic, but this is what everybody's asking. What is an offtake agreement?
An offtake agreement is an agreement that you reach between yourself as the farmer, the producer, and then somebody that wants to buy your crop on a formal basis. And that's why we call it an offtake agreement. So, we could traditionally sell in informal markets, but where you conclude a one-to-one arrangement with a buyer of your commodity, we refer to that as an offtake agreement because it has certain basic principles that apply to it.
Now, what are the advantages of having an offtake agreement?
Certainty of somebody being able to procure your commodity for you. It's no use you producing a crop and not knowing if there's a ready market for it. So there's a huge benefit in knowing that somebody is there ready to take your crop from you at an agreed price, which is the other key principle of an offtake agreement, is making sure that there's a price agreed upon. Now, there could be certain variables attached to that price, but certainly there's a basic, what we like to call a minimum guaranteed price within that agreement, which gives you the comfort of knowing from a budgeting point of view, you know approximately what you're going to get for your crop. So you always have that number at the back of your mind, knowing that I need to operate within that income generation potential of that crop. And that's one of the big advantages of having that offtake agreement. The other big advantage, of course, is depending who the party is that you enter into that offtake agreement with, there's that name behind it. So you know there's a reputation. So from a payment point of view, you're comfortable that that party is able to honor their financial obligation back to you, obviously on condition that you've delivered the quantity and the quality that you've undertaken to do so. So there is a huge benefit of having that.
Now, unfortunately, in everything, there's advantages and disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages or pitfalls when it comes to offtake agreements?
So the payment terms are generally the big issue for us. So you've got to make sure that when you conclude these offtake agreements, that you are happy with the payment arrangements that you've concluded. It could be 30 days from invoice or 30 days from statement. Big difference between the two, and so on and so forth. So it goes 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days. And that's very important for you to understand the impact of that. Again, you've got the benefit of knowing that the money is secure, but it could take a long time before it gets into your bank account. The other thing that you as the farmer need to be very careful about is your promise to deliver a certain quantity and a certain quality of produce. You want to have the pride of knowing your product is on that shelf on a well-known retailer. But you want to make sure that it's quality produce that you deliver, and that's also important to understand that could damage the relationship between you and your off-taker. So it's important to make sure that you cover those bases.
Now, offtake agreements often have a long-term payment time, and that can actually disturb your cash flow as a farmer. So what should I do when that happens?
What you need to do is firstly understand what that payment term is. And as far as possible, of course, try to negotiate that to as short a cycle as possible. And if you can't, there's always the opportunity to speak to financial institutions to come up with financial solutions together with you. And there's cash flow acceleration products where you can go and discount your invoice, especially if you're selling to reputable suppliers, well-known listed entities as an example. It's quite easy on the back of those to be able to go and discount those invoices. So you literally can turn those invoices into cash into your business rather than waiting for the entire payment cycle to elapse before you get that money, because we know how important it is for you to be able to access that as soon as possible.
So cash flow is actually very important to keep the farm sustainable.
100%. I mean, we know that. I mean, the entire cycle of the business relies on cash being available at any one point in time. So take advantage of every possible solution that you can access to be able to convert to cash as soon as possible.
Praveen, as always, it's a pleasure talking to you.
You're very welcome, Tavi.
And to our viewers, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us at African Farming. And remember, we farm better together.
Get the necessary cover for you and your family in the event of unforeseen misfortune. The African Farming Protector Plan offers you comprehensive funeral cover for your entire family plus extended family at an affordable cost. Our product also offers benefits such as monthly discounts on groceries, discounted bus tickets, ambulance services, and trauma and assault assistance, to name a few. For more information on the African Farming Comprehensive Funeral Plan, SMS African Farming to 45269 and get the peace of mind you deserve.